let's just, let's go 30,000 feet here. What the heck made you write a book? I swore I'd never write a book.
Okay.
And
you've succeeded.
I have to this point, but you've given me a guilt complex. Well, on my social tour, speaking all around the country to the industry and a little bit out industry, I'm just a small town kid from Asheville, Ohio that got lucky and made it, had some breaks in life. And I always looked up at the people who wrote these books, and they got all this kind of what I call false play for how they got speaking engagements and stuff. And I always said, I'm going to make it without writing a book.
Yeah.
So now you're making me challenge my vow, because I see a real guy with a real heart and a real family and a real career and a real passion for our industry write a book that is very enlightening.
Oh, thank you.
Why did you do it?
It goes back to what I said a little bit earlier, where I talked about our industry. I think sometimes has a little bit of an inferiority complex, and I saw a sort of what I felt was a trend of whether it's politicians, legislators, other famous folks, kind of detracting from our industry, and doing so in just sort of flippant, without any real thought. One of the ones, Mark Cuban, who I really like, wrote
that blog.
Yeah, I did. I wrote a blog talking about why he was wrong about swag. He wrote 12 rules.
From the guy who goes through a lot of swag.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of ironic.
Yeah, it is, a little bit. And I like Mark Cuban, and I respect his opinion, but I read this 12 rules for startups, and one of them, number 7 or 8 or something like that, was don't buy swag. And his whole point was, well, I know that somebody's gone off the tracks with managing their money when somebody sends me a golf shirt with their logo on it. And I'm like, I said, okay, but what you're saying is, okay, you want to do promo smart. It's a lot like saying, well, my buddy bought a Hummer and went broke, so nobody should ever buy cars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just not taking away, those stats we talked about earlier when it comes to recall and reaction. By telling people not to do that, you're doing them a disservice.
Right.
And so between them and or Mr. Cuban and then the politicians who use promotional products to get elected and then tell the folks with underneath
the normal people.
Yeah, the normal folks, they tell them, oh, well, you can't have promo in your budget now because that's a waste of money. Right. But here's a button. Can you please vote for me?
And a yard sign.
Yeah,
a yard sign out.
Yeah, so I kind of inspired me to say, okay, you know what? It would be really cool for us to have a book that kind of spoke to the real dynamics of promo, why people should use it, and then I reached out to people like you and other great folks in the industry and said, okay, let's talk to how too, right?
Right.
Let's just create some case studies that say, okay, so you should do it. Now let's dig into, here's some case studies of how different nonprofits, businesses, insurance companies, whatever, have used it to grow their business. And so that's not only the why, but also the how.